So there's this trend in video games now, specifically in US made games, where the people at the studios have started to move away from using traditionally beautiful women as characters in the games, instead favoring more plain women in games, which has upset people for a number of reasons, but it's created this new culture where when a game comes out with a woman character that is traditionally beautiful, the game gets tons of backlash for furthering harmful gender stereotypes or promoting an unhealthy body image for women. Basically, it's another example of people with the San Francisco ideology coming together to attack something that was normal 5 years ago. This time, it's happening with a game called Stellar Blade, produced by a Korean games company called Shift Up. And let's just say the cancellation in America has made some Koreans pretty mad. Today, we're going to take a look at the situation and how Maxim Korea, yes, that Maxim, called out people for canceling the game's protagonist. So I guess to start, I should explain more about what Stellar Blade is and why it's so controversial. It's an action-adventure game that's going to be released on PlayStation in a couple of weeks, but already had a demo release. There was also some issue where they released the game early by accident, but that's not related to what we're talking about here today. Basically, in Stellar Blade, you play as a woman named Eve, who's fighting to reclaim Earth from enemies called the Nitiba, which I assume are some kind of aliens. Sounds pretty run-of-the-mill, right? So why are they mad? Well, because they made Eve hot. I mean, like, she's hot in a traditional way, not the new age body positivity way. She's a skinny woman with very eye-catching features. You know what I'm talking about. And she's dressed in a number of costumes in the different demos and trailers, but all of them are skin tight and just slightly provocative, but not to the point where it's too much. Basically, she looks like every woman in any video game made before 2016, when that weasel got into the particle accelerator and shifted us all to Crazy Town. So the usual suspects, games journalists, and other typically left-wing personalities have been attacking Eve and the game and saying that it promotes harmful body images and that women and girls can't look like Eve does. That having a woman like Eve in a game makes women feel like they have to live up to an impossible standard, since there's no woman on Earth that looks like Eve. One problem for them though, there actually is. Eve was modeled after a Korean model named Shin Jae-eun and has basically her exact proportions. So while it turns out that Eve isn't an impossible standard for women, it's an achievable physique, even if the people in their offices in San Francisco don't think it is. So it turns out that Eve isn't an impossible standard for women. It's an achievable physique, even if the people in their offices in San Francisco don't think it is. Now in America, you take some flack if you call out how stupid our culture has become when it comes to things like women's bodies in video games. But in Korea, they don't stand for that kind of thing, which led to Maxim Korea, which is, as far as I can tell, the Korean branch of the gentleman's magazine Maxim, calling out games journalists and other people who were upset about this on air, since Shin Jae-eun is a model that has done work for Maxim Korea in the past. Now the clip is in Korean, but there should be captions. Basically, the host calls out the lie that Eve's an unrealistic body type and says that it doesn't make sense at all to call someone's who exists body type unrealistic, ending by saying that this is just another issue related to political correctness these days and brushing it off as ridiculous. And honestly, it's nice to have a breath of fresh air. For a long time, you couldn't call out the stupidity of these kinds of things going on. 2 years ago, you'd have been crucified for mentioning that maybe we don't have to make all women in video games less attractive for zero reason. You couldn't call out that some women do actually have these kinds of bodies. Our society has become so obsessed with not wanting people to have to look at something they aren't, that we forgot about the people that actually are. Now, I get why people criticize characters like Eve. They don't want people to feel bad about themselves, and no one should feel bad about themselves because of how a video game character looks. But by calling Eve unrealistic, are they not just making the model feel bad about herself? There's no real principle in their ideology. They basically just make it up as they go along with whatever sounds the best to them, as far as I can tell. So anyway, I hope we can move past this kind of petty squabbling over whether or not we should let women in video games be traditionally attractive or not. Not only is it a stupid argument, because some women do in fact look like a traditionally attractive character, but I also want to mention that having more attractive characters in games is really just a good business move. Sex sells. That doesn't mean anyone should attack people because they can't live up to characters in games. But is anyone even really doing that? I feel like if a character in a game makes you feel less valid as a person, the solution is to turn off the game and go hang out with family and friends. People who like you for who you are, not what you look like. And realize that it really doesn't matter that much at all. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on this situation. What do you guys think? Would you like to see more traditionally attractive women in games? Or are you on the anti-traditionally attractive gang? Why? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day and God bless you.